Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Feeling Sisters with Sal. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Today we have lovely guest over here, Justine. So Justine, welcome to the show, and I'm glad that you're here.
Thank you for having me.
So Justine here has a lot of story for us to tell as a Feeling Sisters with Sal. It's never about me, it's about you. So today it's about Justine. So Justine, welcome to the show, and also I just want to ask this, so Justine, can you tell us something about yourself first?
So currently, I am a student. I'm an online student, and I go to Penn State as an online student, and I also am a musician. So I'm a singer-songwriter, and I work with children, as well as my part-time job for the time being.
Oh wow! So you have a lot of things going on.
Yes.
From so you have your side hustle, okay, and then that's the being student. No I'm kidding. So you have your student, it's like you're studying, and then of course as far as like taking care of how old are these kids? It's like you have been what do you call it? Like is it like tutoring? Is it how is it?
So it's an after-school program. I work for a unified school district,
Okay.
and for the time being, I'm just doing that. But I will be moving into the Department of Children and Family Service this coming December.
Oh wow! So is this a calling that you have right now? Like it's, as far as like you always are fond of like kids and mentoring.
Yes, actually, when I was younger, I used to volunteer a lot with with the kids and stuff. Not including summer programs, as well as like being a youth leader. I love children, and I love being that example for them, and that because I know sometimes their minds, they're not always completely developed, but then if I could just be that good example for them, I know that along the way that I'll be.
Oh, wow. So it's like you have yourself a handful. So are these little rascals that we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. So they say it's terrible twos. I call them terrible till 20s. No. Stop it. Right? No. Okay. That's why I don't have kids, Sal. Okay. So Justine, as far as like it's like you are it's like you. I feel like you're all smile. You're on this positive energy. You have this glow around you. But I know like there are things it's like inside you like it's like as far as like us, we put ourselves into this front mode where we're all made up. And it's like I heard that there's something it's like behind the smiles there's always that little frown. Can you tell us about something?
Yeah. So just earlier this year, I was diagnosed with a generalized anxiety and depression. I kind of had felt it about a couple years ago. I think I was just kind of in denial about it. I have a very supportive family and friends and stuff, and I think that's just kind of what got me through a lot of stuff. So I didn't really notice as much as I thought I should. But then things just kind of started to develop even more. And when I went to doctors for a lot of kind of health problems, usual like chest pains and all that sort of matter, that's when my doctor had diagnosed me with my anxiety and depression disorder. At that moment when she kind of told me, I was in shock. And I kind of knew it, but then I think it was that moment that I didn't want to hear it. And I didn't want anybody to really know about it. And then I just realized that, I was in a relationship during that time too. But I was in a toxic one. I didn't realize that I was in a toxic one because I was in love with this guy. And I just kind of centered my world around this guy. But along those things that has happened in my life, it was just a lot of manipulation, and I felt confused and I felt lost. And after being diagnosed with my general anxiety and depression, 2 weeks later, he had broken up with me after knowing that too. So I felt like my world kind of crumbled along the way. I was struggling with school. I was struggling with my job. I wasn't making it to my job. I was always sick. And that just it got to a point where I lost myself.
So what was your wake-up call? Because we all have that light bulb moment So for people who is watching, especially like it's like being diagnosed with depression, clinically depressed, it's like what was your wake up call? Especially like people do get into relationships that are toxic, like what you've mentioned. Was there a significant moment where you said it's just like this is not healthy for me anymore? I need help. I want to see someone who's professional. What was that light bulb moment?
That light bulb moment was when my grandma passed away along the way. I think it was like 2 months after I got diagnosed with it, and my grandma passed away, and I couldn't see her, actually. She was in the Philippines, and I couldn't see her.
Wait, sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't know you're okay. See, we're very candid. Sorry, I didn't know you're Filipino.
I'm Filipino. I don't look like it.
Oh my God, give me a hug over here. Of course, I have Filipinos. They didn't tell me.
Yeah. So when my grandma passed away, I couldn't see her. And I think that was that moment of like, okay, like everything was just kind of crumbling down. And I knew, and then I ended up going to therapy. But then when I was younger, I actually went to therapy, but it just didn't work. It didn't work for me. I felt that, I was just talking to a stranger, and that stranger was just telling me what to do. And it was like how to be happy or how to cope with it. But it's like they weren't really inside how I was feeling. They weren't experiencing things that I was feeling. They weren't in my mind. So I stopped that when I was younger. And then I started back again. And I said, why not? Give it a try again. I seen a really good psychologist and therapist, and she was sweet. But then as I kind of kept talking to her and going to her session, it was like a cycle all over again.
I see.
I felt that I was going there for an hour, telling her how I feel, and that was that.
I see.
And it's like I go out into the real world facing these fears and just that hopelessness and that, that unfeeling of like uncertainty and unknown surrounding me.
So you were trying to get professional help, but you were not getting as far as like what you needed as a support.
Yes.
And at the same time, I'm pretty sure like, having that impact with your grandma passing on, was there something significant between the relationship between you and your grandma?
Yes. Well, she's my actual grandma had passed away years ago, but she's the sister of my grandma. But
because everybody's a grandma, right?
Yes. So, but she was the only thing pretty much I truly had left because I was just so close to her before I moved here to the United States.
You call her Lola?
Yes, thank you. And I miss her every single day. And I always remember when I was younger with her, she would always tell me, like, if you smile, the world will smile back at you. And that's why I have this just like positive like energy and just like, because it's like, you don't know what other people are going through in a day. And if you can just give them that smile and it's like, you can make someone's day completely brighter. So then when she passed away, everything just, I don't know, like I crumbled and I fell. And my relationship with her was huge because I didn't get to see her. I wasn't there with her. And I know she's, safely where she's at, and she passed away in her sleep. But I know she was struggling at that time. And I didn't want to be that selfish person and that selfish to kind of, wish for a miracle or ask for a miracle for her to stay. And she was just that loving person in my life that was just always kind of tell me that things will always be okay.
But what's good is like all these memories that you are sharing with us is all special. Something that has helped you, even in your, it's like when you have your moments also. Yes. So, it's like, your grandma probably is so proud right now. It's just like you're a living, it's like whatever she has left you, you're still carrying it with you. And, it's like she's never really has left the planet, basically. All her teachings and her wisdom is still passing on through you. And, it's like right now, of course, like, it's like still going through, difficult situations in life. But I see here that it's like, you're pushing it, it's
Yeah.
like you're trying your best out there. Even you're putting that smile with your probably grandma has the same smile always, okay? It's like, and, it's like I mean, like you have this vibe that, even, it's like still pursuing as far as like, you being student and then, moving on to even helping children. Is there anything that you anchor yourself into so that you can get up? Because there's anybody else there who's watching who is suffering also from, from being depressed, who has seek professional help at the same time, but still finding that support. What can you give as an advice for them?
Definitely never give up. Because that moment that you open your eyes right in the morning, you are that one person that is alive, that sometimes other people couldn't see. And, there's a lot of other people strugglings out there in the world, whether it's through anxiety, whether it's through poverty, whether it's through depression, always remember that if you have that moment to wake up every single morning and know that you have a roof under your head, know that you have loving and supportive family surrounding your friends, then never ever give up.
That's so nice because that is, it's like, like as far as like depression, I had my own take on it also, where it really puts you into a corner where you don't know you don't know where to get it from.
Yes.
And then like what you've mentioned, it's like there are people around you who is the reason for you to keep going, not to give up. And then it's like those are our family, those are our friends, those are those special individual around us. And it's like what I see in you is as like it's like that never give up. It's something that it's like it's easy, I'm pretty sure, for people just to say, but and on her end, I see that you really making it happen, which is it's like I'm pretty sure like your grandma would be so proud of you right now, because it's like it's like as far as like energies wise, it's like they're always there.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I see that glow in you, and then probably it's not just the lighting but it's like that glow in you that is it's there, and it's constantly, I know, like it's like for anybody who has gone through depression, it's always there, but sometimes it's just so hard to find where it is. And then that's where you don't give up. All right. So, well, that's we're gonna be hanging out after this, but you're not gonna be included. And I'm kidding. I didn't know that she's a kababayan. Okay. So anyway, I just got excited over there for a moment. But it's like I'm very grateful for Justine being here. Is there anything that you want to share before, like it's like as far as like just like a sentence that you can give hope to anybody who's suffering, just like for anybody who's depressed?
Be true to yourself.
Always
be true to yourself.
Okay, so there you go. So be true to yourself. That's from Justine. And for anybody who's out there who is, so suffering from depression, always, of course, like there are professional help out there. And just like what Justine did, she tried to look for it, but she also found help through family, through friends, to loved ones, and to those special people who are our backbone. And sometimes, it's like it's hard to find them, but when you can't find it, it's always inside you. So thank you very much, guys, for tuning in to Feeling Sisters with Sal, and I'll see you guys again. Bye.